Screen addiction is something you may have not heard of yet. However, it is very real.
In China, it's considered a clinical disorder. And in Washington, a company has launched one of the first screen addiction rehab centers for children.
New at 6, we're taking a deeper look into the issue that is affecting families everywhere.
WRAL's Micaiah Thurman spoke with one Cary therapist who is treating several children who cannot seem to disconnect.
Everywhere you look, people are plugged in and tuned out. What happens when all this technology becomes too much? Children addicted to screens, and they just can't let go.
This seems to be a huge issue.
You name it, they got it. Video games, televisions, phones, and computers. Researchers say all that technology can take a toll on teens to the point of screen addiction.
It can start pretty young.
Child therapist Dr. Kristen Wynns says the problem starts much earlier.
These days, kids have a huge buffet of options when it comes to electronics. So even little kids typically have their devices that they can game on in the car. So it really starts at a pretty young age.
Moms we talk to say they understand the struggle. Parenting is tough and screens are easy.
We actually don't allow our girls to use an iPad or an iPhone. My two are oftentimes the only ones outside playing. Like, I get it. And to be able to say, I just need a couple of minutes here, watch Sesame Street, or here's a video game, or here's a computer, play on that for a little bit.
But that's how it starts.
It just becomes a vicious cycle where the screens have so much stimulation. Kids can get sucked in.
Dr. Wynns has several young clients she's treating for screen addiction, some with such intense issues she didn't feel comfortable letting them on camera for this story.
That we're seeing kids can have behavior problems. They become really aggressive or irritable if parents try to rein in their use.
So what should parents do? Dr. Wynn says put your children on a media diet. Daily screen time should not exceed 3 hours. Also, don't park your toddler in front of a TV screen. Some experts say that children under the age of 2 should not be exposed to any electronic media. And finally, make sure you avoid screen time for your kids while you drive. The car will be quiet, but it's not what they need. And here's the big one. If you want your kids to unplug, you'll need to start by cutting back on the screen time for yourself. Micaiah Thurman, WRAL News.
A national study by Kaiser Foundation found children between the ages of 8 and 18 spend about 7.5 hours a day looking at different forms of media. If you think your child has an issue with screen addiction, it's important to see a doctor. For information on how to get help, log on to wral.com.